It still surprises me just how many people have no idea how good electric cars are. As a performance car, they're incredible. They're unmatched. They're the fastest cars in the world. Electric trumps gasoline. It trumps petrol. It doesn't maybe trump the emotion, but it certainly trumps the performance. However, there's a lot of people who just don't have any awareness of this. You look at the drag races on YouTube, a lot of people comparing EVs versus cars like Porsches and other performance cars, Ferraris. The Ferraris and the Porsches lose, and everyone talks about how amazing the Ferrari and the Porsche performance cars were, even though they lost in comparison to something like a family car, like the Tesla Model X Plaid. I find this very strange. Very strange. I've never can't work out what's going on. However, one of the people who used to be like that has now changed his tune. It's a very interesting story of what happens when you stop acting like someone who, to be honest, seems a bit retarded and actually try something different. Just open your mind, have an experience. This is what can happen. Hello, my friends. Great to see you. Welcome to the channel. I'm the Electric Viking. My name's Sam Evans. Clean Technica reports that BJ Birtwell founded the Electrify Expo in 2019. However, he had to wait to host the first event until 2021 due to the coronavirus-induced lockdowns, which really put life on hold for so many of us. He already had a background in organizing and producing large live events, which is a big challenge. Having been involved in the recent Fully Charged live show, I realized just how much is involved, and I only saw a small fraction of what the team had to do to put that event together, so kudos to them. He was involved in organizing concerts and live brand activation, so he had a bit of experience with this kind of thing. A lot of the events he ran were in the motorsports and power sports industry, so it's a real lover of gasoline, petrol-powered cars, turbocharged cars, supercharged cars, anything that sounds loud and goes fast. He said he grew up modifying and customizing cars and spending a ton of money making cars look cool and tuning them to go faster. You see a lot of petrol-powered cars, a lot of gasoline cars, diesel cars. They sound really loud. Not much happens. They don't move very fast. Just sounds really loud. That's what I see a lot these days. As an auto enthusiast and a petrolhead, he used to think that electric cars didn't have a soul. People still say that. They don't have a soul. He says he felt like, if I can't hear the rumble of a V8 or the sound from an inline-4 turbo, you forget about it. You are never getting me behind the wheel of that car. Then something interesting happened in 2016 when he got behind the wheel of a Tesla Model S for the first time. Things started to change very quickly. That is when he said he had his light bulb moment and realized, wow, electric is the future. It dawned on him that he really needed to drive one to realize just how superior electric cars were. And this hands-on experience is what he needed to really get it. Actually driving the car, not just watching a video on YouTube, of course, is going to be vastly different. Now, he said that when people in general get a first-hand experience with electric cars, that's one of the best ways to raise awareness about EVs. One of the best ways to raise awareness about electric cars and get more people into the wonderful world of electric mobility. Armed with his long history and experience in organizing and producing big live events and shows, he decided to make one focused on electric mobility. This was the beginning of Electrify Expo. BJ wanted Electrify Expo to be different from a lot of the auto shows where people are looking at cars behind a velvet rope. And quite often those events tend to be very constrained events in convention centers. I know what he's talking about. Most of the time, if they have product demo experiences, they're very brief and held in the basement of a convention hall, for example, or quick drives through start and stop traffic in the downtown area near the convention center. This, to BJ, did not offer the best experience. It wasn't really the ideal situation. He then decided to make an electric vehicle show that is more along the lines of a festival environment and completely outdoor. This would be bundled in with music, food, culture, and a proper festival vibe. People attending the festival would get a good chance to really test drive as many cars as possible around the festival grounds, as well as in the nearby suburban areas, with several roads closed for real thrilling driving experiences in some of the zones. Now, of course, To have a real thrilling driving experience, you need a real thrilling car to drive in or to sit in. Some of you have probably seen some videos from, say, for example, fast Teslas, people sitting in the car and just getting their minds blown. That's the kind of thing I think he had in mind. In 2021, the first 3 events of Electrify Expo were held in Orange County, Miami, and Austin, Texas. Then in 2022, they grew to 5 events, adding Seattle and New York. This year, they've grown again to 7 events, adding Washington, D.C., which was held last month on the 22nd and 23rd of July in Long Beach and San Francisco, California. Orange County was not on the roster this year. The next event is being held in Long Island, New York, at the Coliseum on August 12th to 13th. Electrify Expo has managed to get most of the auto manufacturers in the EV industry to come and exhibit and give demo drive sessions with a wide range of vehicles, which is pretty impressive in just the 3rd year since the expo started, says Clean Technica. I think it is as well, because they know, right, that around 5% or less of the cars they sell are electric cars. So if these auto companies, if these big automotive manufacturers are bringing their vehicles to be tested, well, they know they also make a loss selling those cars. So it's pretty bold of them to bring their EVs to these events. Kudos to them for doing that. BJ says a lot of automakers are seeing that they get a lot of throughput and a lot of demo rides at these events that he puts on. They're always maxing out on their demos and have been incrementally adding more cars to the demo rides of the expo. The OEMs are seeing this as an event to really get behind and support. It is this support from the auto manufacturers that has helped propel the expo to become the largest electric vehicle showcase event in North America. It's not just cars and SUVs and trucks. There's also a bike track. The show promotes micromobility, electric bicycles, scooters, skateboards. I was just riding my electric skateboard today, actually. In fact, I rode it for 20 kilometers. Electric motorcycles also feature prominently. They're getting better and better every single year. It's amazing to see the progress. Given his background, there is a large exhibition section called Electrify Show Off. He says it's the epicenter of EV customization. It is focused on EV personalization and is a breeding ground for customization trends. This is really a big part of the industry we haven't seen that much of yet. Customization of electric cars, supercharging your electric car, modifying your electric car. That's a huge market that is going to explode. There is apparently around 7 to 8 million different modification parts you can buy in China for your electric cars. Show Off features the most radically customized EVs and inspires Electrify Expo attendees with ideas of how they can customize their own rides and basically change their product, their car, from being something that people might see as soulless to being something that has real character. He says it is kind of like an exhibit-style Pimp My Ride exhibition, but for EVs. Since inception, Electrify Expo has managed to double participation from automakers. The automakers are bringing in more cars and expanded the footprint of their exhibitions and stands and displays. Many automakers are now treating Electrify Expo as an anchor event in their calendars. And at the same time, the world's biggest motor shows held in capital cities around the world are dying. The actual participation numbers are going down. Some of those events are just simply being cancelled because they're not getting enough people coming along. The reason being, the majority of the vehicles being shown there are petrol, diesel powered vehicles. And obviously, most people just aren't that interested in them anymore. Look at the clicks you get on articles on websites. There's more and more articles about EVs because the creators of those sites, those media publications, know that people click on them more. The Washington, D.C. edition of the show covered 1 million square feet, and the automakers really came through with a lot of vehicles and exhibits to bring the festival to life. BJ says the goal is to really promote EV adoption by raising awareness, giving people an experience, showing them that EVs do have a soul, that they do have significant benefits. The other advantage is it means you can try before you buy. A lot of people come to the shows in order to try something, and then they can make a decision whether or not they want to go through and buy it. Visitors at these shows are growing quickly. Fully Charged Live are having the same experience. Attendees are growing rapidly. These electric vehicle shows are popping up all over the place. This concept that EVs are soulless and passionless clearly is not supported by the general population who are attending these events at a much higher ratio than people are attending global motor shows. What does this tell you about the future of the automotive industry? I think it shows that clearly the future is electric. Let me know your thoughts in the comments. Thank you for watching.